So now we have the Phantom 2. Woo! I like the new paint job. Ezra's been more competent lately, right? Like, I know he likes to let his guard down, but Jesus, he literally just walks away from a prisoner he's watching. Like, all right, whatever. And it kind of ends up costing him. And as usual, no one does anything to the droid, which allows them to get free, but, whatever. Rao is a strange character to talk about. He's a weird combination of cool and irritating. I don't want to get off on a big discussion about Mandalorians right now, mostly because that would probably take a while to discuss. But I find myself looking at him and thinking that he's a prototypical Mandalorian, but not in a good way, more in a bad way. And ultimately, the only reason he ends up really joining with them is because of a combination of a desire for revenge, as well as a belief that she has honored the Mandalorian honor code, you know what I mean, and therefore it's okay to join them. And that's it. I don't think he really believes in the cause at all, and I don't think he really changes his mind at all, especially since he was extremely close to just bailing. It's also probably worth noting that her final fight against Saxon, whatever his name is, probably helped with that. It's also probably worth noting that he does something a lot of people do. Redirects blame. All of this happened because of you and your rebels. Well, no. Actually, all of this happened because of the Empire and Saxon, whatever his name is. Saxon idiot guy. I just realized that's a weird thing to say, isn't it? I do find it funny how Ezra manages to retain his cool under pressure for quite some time. I suppose he's had a lot of practice at it, so that makes sense. And he is basically literally playing for time while Sabine comes around to rescue him. Like he says, "What took you so long? I was trying strategy. It's slower." I also love Sabine's comment, "Oh, I've been wanting one of these. Who wouldn't?" And I was really excited that Sabine was going to have a jetpack at the end of the episode. A shame they had to shoot the damn thing. In the interest of fairness, they could probably repair it. It's just, come on, give her a jetpack, guys. Come on, it'd be so cool. The droids and Imperials have always been portrayed as pretty incompetent in Clone Wars and in Rebels. I find it interesting that the Mandalorians are almost always portrayed as competent. They still tend to lose, but they lose because they're actually outsmarted or out-defeated. Let me put it to you this way. How many comedic moments can you picture, just off the top of your head, of droids and Imperial stormtroopers? Like, uh-oh, or, oh, I didn't think this through, or, oh, your first time encountering a Jedi, sir? All those moments, right? Now, how many of those are there for Mandalorians? I suppose that's the idea. You want the comic relief enemy, the Team Rocket, and then you want the actually competent enemy. Clone Wars actually dealt with this by having multiple tiers of droids. The base-level droids were pure comedy. Then there were a few mid-level droids which were like, okay, and then there were the really serious droids which they only pulled out when they wanted to actually threaten the audience, or threaten the main characters, I should say. So the audience knew it was serious. I had a random thought while this episode was going. You ever wonder if they just kind of shoot in the direction of the lightsaber, like whenever someone's shooting at a Jedi? I know that sounds like a strange statement, and obviously, the Jedi's... But I mention that because if you think about it, at a distance with bad lighting under the circumstances, it's the most clear and obvious visual indicator of where your target is. Think of a video game where you literally have a reticule, like a lock-on outline or whatever, a targeting indicator showing where your target is. That kind of a thing, right? Just random thought I had. So Rao shows up, and he could have shot him. Instead, he decides to speechify for a second, which ends up costing him, but whatever. And he joins the rebellion. Woo! I've noticed we've gotten back into the day in the life episodes here. I don't mind, per se, and you'll notice that even these day in the life episodes are very slowly and carefully placing Legos. I like to think of it as Legos. It's building blocks. They're slowly building up the foundation. I mean, look at what we've been establishing here. We have a former governor of a world. We have contacts with the underworld, with the criminal element. We have several people from different cells who've joined up. We have a former member of Black Sun, or possibly a current member of Black Sun who's joined up. We have a Mandalorian who's joined up. You get my point. Each of these slice of life episodes are nevertheless servicing the overall narrative. And not the narrative plot of defeating Thrawn or Governor Price, but the plot of establishing the Rebel Alliance. So I'm kind of with it. Speaking of which, that's exactly what's going to happen next week, I'm pretty sure. So, and by next week, I mean whenever this episode goes live. So I'll see you next time.